You know what? I think I'm going to be nice today. I'm usually like, you need to toughen up and do better and make the good decisions, but you're up against it a little bit, so I'm going to be Mr. Nice Guy today.
This is the game of food. This is the game of food. We're helping real people get real results with delicious food. Real food. Live from Spencer's home studio, podcasting to the world. This is Game of Food. And here's your host, Spencer Frederick.
So you know I'm big on changing your habits, bettering your decisions, making you tougher, and a lot of my podcasts cover stuff like that, and I think it's very important. But today I want to talk about what you're up against. What are the things that you need to avoid? What are these marketing schemes and advertising campaigns that some of you or some people that you know are falling for, and it's actually hurting them long term? What are you up against? Because I can look at some of these offers, I can look at some of these bogus things that pop up, and I immediately know if it is more or less likely to produce lasting change in you, and whether it's going to be a waste of your money or not. I can look at them and just know, and I want to give that to you today. So that's my talk today, and that's my gift technically to you today, is so that you can look at some of these offers and go, bogus, I'm not wasting my money on that. I'll lose a quick 7 pounds and then I'll just gain 8 back overnight. You know what I mean? And so you don't want to put money into programs that are going to do that for you. And even though I'm going to tackle some of these things that I want you to avoid, know that there are good programs out there, so you don't need to be afraid of everything out there like, hey, I'm offering this health thing and scam. Scam artist, you're selling fitness, you must be a scammer. No, there are some good people out there, some good coaches that are super passionate, and people that aren't designed for a quick buck, a quick profit off of a pill that doesn't produce any results. So let's dive into it. I actually was making a list, taking some notes on this episode, and I came up with a list of 8 things that I want you guys to avoid, which I thought I was only going to come up with a few, and then I started thinking of more and more. So number 1 is weight loss medication. The one that pops out is phentermine for me. That's the one I hear from time to time. It is a medication that likely you get from a doctor that is designed to help you lose weight. Here's the bad part about it, is it is terrible for you. It speeds up your heart rate. You don't feel well. They actually tell you when you take it, like, we can't cycle in and out of this all the time. And actually doctors, if you've done it 2, 3, 4 times, they'll be like, we should stop doing this. This isn't good for you. And you can also, adapt to it so that it doesn't work anymore, and it doesn't teach you the long-term skills. So people will get on the phone with me saying, these are the things I've tried, and they'll say phentermine, and I'm like, how did phentermine go? Hey, it worked. Did you keep it off? No, I didn't. And that's always the case. Number 2 is surgery. And I don't want anybody listening to this to regret surgery, because like I said, you are up against it out there, and I know you're looking for the answer, and sometimes you stumble upon surgery as the answer because it might feel more long-term. It might feel like something that'll actually finally get you to the goal, but that is also something that doesn't solve the problem. There are people that gain back all the way, maybe even more. And that's a tough one too, because depending on the type of weight loss surgery that you get, you have to eat an extreme diet, and you kind of don't feel well depending on the person, depending on the procedure. And so that one is one I don't like to see people do, because just like the weight loss medications, you can gain all the weight back because you didn't learn how to keep it off. Number 3 is waist trainers, 7-minute abs, shake weights, and there's going to be something else that comes out just like that. Now this one, to me, is really designed for the quick buck. 7-minute ab crunches every day is not going to give you washboard abs. You cannot target fat. You can't say, I want to lose fat off my arms and do a bunch of arm weight workouts and then expect to lose fat off of that area. No, it is a calorie deficit, and you can't target fat. So if you have a stubborn area on your body of fat, just know that you have to just keep going, and eventually that stubborn area will go. But it's stubborn because it goes last. You can't target fat. And so waist trainers, shake weights, these are just these short-term exciting things that look like the final answer, and they look really easy, and they're designed to look really easy so that you buy them. 3 easy payments of $99 off an infomercial. So avoid those as well. Number 4 is bad coaches. So this is like the epidemic we're going through, I think, right now. And it was like the birth of this was on social media, where people yesterday were selling insurance, didn't like that anymore. They lost 10 pounds doing this, and now all of a sudden they're the expert, and they're talking like they're the expert on social media. Sign up for my thing. It's a pyramid scheme. I'm not saying all pyramid schemes are bad. I'm not saying that at all. I'm talking about the bad ones, and I'm talking about the bad coaches. They are designed to look like a coach, to look like an expert that has helped so many people, and really they're just pushing a product for a profit, and they don't have the passion necessarily. And when you see somebody that is passionate about it, they've been doing it for a long time. Maybe in high school they were taking some coursework related to health. In college, they majored in the field. They have, certifications. They've been trying different health things on their own body. They were never involved in anything health or nutrition, and then all of a sudden they're this expert. If it were me, I would avoid that person. And what's funny, it's not actually funny. Because depending on the product you're pushing, you could be teaching the wrong thing to people and hurting their health and their knowledge long term, because they thought your product worked and they tried it and it didn't work, and now they feel even worse about themselves. They're struggling to find the answer, and yours wasn't. So avoid the bad coaches. And sometimes you can have a highly educated bad coach. They just don't care about people. So, that's like a doctor. Have you ever met a doctor that didn't care about you and your long-term health? They just wanted to hand over pills and hopefully get you out of the office. So that's just people in general. So number 4 is bad coaches. Number five is fad diets. For example, extreme carb cutting, carnivore diet, veggie and fruit fasts, and fasting in general. So fad diets, for the majority of people, aren't going to work in the long term either. They are designed for, quick weight loss, but it's not realistic eating. And if it's not realistic eating, aren't you probably going to go back to the foods that you love? If you're on an extremely low carb diet, or some extremely strict meal plan that they send through the mail, and you can't have fruit, but you love fruit, well, fruit's not going to hurt your health, but how do you add it back? Because it is a carbohydrate. That's when you know it's probably not the plan for you, and probably not the plan for the majority. A quote that I'm stealing from a client that I talked to the other day is, if you have to change your food to get the result, if you have to delete the food that you love to get the result, it's probably not the plan for you. This is also a big one today, and I don't know if social media has to play into it or not, but like bad coaches and then fad diets are a big one today, and it's probably because you can talk about this new way of eating and it can be super profitable, and you just push it until everybody realizes, I gained all the weight back. That wasn't realistic. I didn't know how to come off of that plan and keep my results. So that's a big one today. Number 6 is extreme workouts. I don't have too much to say besides a lot of people think you have to work out 7 days a week and you have to do, extreme burpee barbell things that don't fit your body and all this stuff. And you don't have to do that. I don't do that. A lot of my personal trainer friends aren't doing anything extreme. They're not, pushing themselves so hard that they're puking. And that's even what some people think too, is like, you didn't work out unless you feel like crap afterwards. And that's just not true. It's not. You can do a much more realistic plan where you're not so sore that you can't even walk or function normally. You can do a plan that fits your body and your abilities and get phenomenal results. And actually, a plan like that would work better, because the extreme workouts, you're going to end up hating them. You're going to get burnt out. You're not going to like it, and you're just going to go back to your old ways. So finding a realistic plan without the extreme workout plans or number of cardio minutes is something that you're going to want to do. So number 7 is cleanses and detoxes. A cleanse and a detox is what people are using to lose weight. And they also think they're getting the benefit of detoxing like chemicals out of their body and cleansing all the bad stuff out of their colon, I've heard multiple times. And I would like to challenge you on those. I would like to challenge you, if you are doing a cleanse or an extreme detox to get stuff out of your body, when you return to your normal diet, don't you just put that bad stuff back in? Did you improve? Do you know? And the answer is you don't really know. You're not testing your fecal matter. You're not avoiding the foods when you're done with the detox. And so cleanses and detoxes maybe have some benefits, but you shouldn't be using them for weight loss. And I think these kind of remind me of fad diets. So they're being pushed really hard right now. Saying the word detox is something they use because they know you're craving getting away from your old habits and starting some new habits. So detox sounds like a good thing. And they say it's like a 3-day this. And so that sounds really short. And that sounds good to most people because like, oh, cool, I get this quick result and then I'm all better. Well, no, you just kind of return to the way you were, and the detox really had this really short-term benefit and then nothing else. And number 8, which is an unfortunate one, is other people. And I'm going to tell you a little story about this. I'm thinking of someone, a client, who is doing really well. And she works out. She's realistic with her workouts. She's realistic with her nutrition. She's getting phenomenal results. She looks a lot different, and she's doing it the right way. And actually, she eats 3 square meals a day. She eats a little bit more on the weekends, and she even has snacks and treats and kind of whatever she wants. She does eat healthy, but she does have the treats as well. In my opinion, she's doing it the right way. And just because she's leaner than ever, she's had some loved ones, some friends, and family say to her, "Aren't you getting too skinny? Are you sure that what you're doing is healthy?" Now, I've had these questions before too, and it is extremely frustrating because you can't really say anything like, "No, I think I'm okay," is really all you can say, because usually this comes from people that are overeating in their life, where they are eating sugar. And so if they are eating whatever they want, your response, you want to respond this way. You want to say, well, the sugar thing that you had earlier, is that good for your health? The latte that you had with cream and sugar and syrup and chocolatey goodness, is that good for you? Is overeating and drinking beer every Saturday night, is that good for your health? So you're going to tell me that because I've made progress and I'm sticking to it long term, that you're worried I'm going to waste away? Keep in mind, I'm eating 3 square meals. I'm having protein, fruits, vegetables, carbs, even some treats. I'm unhealthy. I'm anorexic is you think is the next stage? And the reason I'm getting a little bit fired up about this one is because the person I'm thinking of actually had a little hiccup in their great routine because they were afraid their friends and family were right. They were afraid that these stupid little quotes that they were saying to them were true and that they were on a bad path, and that actually eating more and holding some extra weight was in some way healthy. This is what you guys are up against. You're up against your loved ones. You're up against friends. You're up against marketing schemes that are designed for profits and to make it look cool. Like they know your eyes will look at it and think it's cool and you will buy it. They have ways of testing whether you like it or not. They have ways of knowing if their advertisement, their plan, if it's catching enough eyeballs or not, and whether it will be profitable, not whether it works. Many people are lost when it comes to their health, especially nutrition. They're getting all of this bad information everywhere they go. School, their parents, loved ones, and then, of course, these terrible marketing schemes. So that's what you need to look out for. And if you follow this list of 8, you'll do a lot better. You'll find the thing where people have the passion to push the right thing. Because once you find the right thing, you know inside that it's the right thing. You know it fits you. It's custom built. It's a real way that all humans can get results. You feel it. Because it's not like you're having to, pull up like the strongest willpower ever to avoid everything under the sun. So I hope this makes sense. I hope that this helps you identify these things and make the right decision on what to do next. Because let me tell you, you're up against it. Spencer, signing off.